For our project, we are working with the group Build Us Hope. We are working with Elizabeth Singleton, who is the organization leader, and Robert Stickles, the lead architect. Build Us Hope is working on developing a community of microhomes for people with both mental and physical handicaps. These people will be self-sufficient and between the ages of 18 and 65. They will be living in 15-foot by 18-foot microhomes. Our goal is to try to save them money by cutting the energy bill by using secondary cooling methods. Our design must cut 15 to 20% and will pay itself back within 5 to 7 years.
As we calculated out our budget, we found that with Build Us Hope, they have an open budget, which means that the project itself doesn't have a limit of how expensive it can be, because they don't know if things are going to cost them money or not, or if they can get things for free through being a nonprofit organization. We plan to have the cost under $60,000 total, or $3,000 per unit for the 20 homes. For the trees, we calculated from $600 to $1,500 to buy and maintain a tree. This is based off of if you're buying a tree brand new and have to pay to support it, or if you're buying a tree that's already grown. For white roofing, it was about $500 to $700 for the paint, and then the expense really comes in for the labor. The awnings were the most expensive, which is one of the reasons why we ruled it out. The cost did not match up to the savings. Window tinting was very cheap and very efficient, so it was about $5 to $8 per square foot, and each house has only a small amount of window, so it was very cheap and had a great return rate. And the shade structures was also way out there. It was the amount of money it would have cost to build the shade structures over even half of the houses was too much for the amount that it could save. Some of the great things about tree shading is that there's a large variety of different trees for the community. They're environmentally friendly, and it also creates community involvement so that the community can work together to take care of the tree, to prune and water the tree. Trees cover large areas and bring people closer together, so in the summertime they can hang out, and it also helps with your cooling if it's near your house. There can be some challenges with the trees. It can take a few years to fully cover a house if you buy a younger tree. Sometimes pests can get it into the trees, or rodents, and of course it requires monthly maintenance. One of the options we found to be one of the best was painting the roof white. It's inexpensive and it won't absorb as much heat after you paint the roof. Unfortunately, the labor for painting every roof is tedious. Hiring someone can be expensive, and each roof would need to be repainted every 10 years. The awnings, some of the pros is that they can be retractable, so if a storm comes through, they're not going to get damaged because they can pull them back in. They shade the windows from heat and entering the house. The challenges, again, is that it's too expensive. They would need maintenance as parts of the mechanics break and need repair. And also the canvas. With the Arizona sun, it would ruin the fabric and need to be replaced every few years.
For window tinting, the pros were that it could reduce cooling costs by up to 20% if used correctly. It was the cheaper option due to minimal square footage of the windows within the communities. And due to the minimal number of windows throughout the community, it would most likely be the most affordable solution. The challenges, however, is that it may not produce as much of an effect in terms of energy reduction during the summers for cooling. The shade structure, the pros were that it creates shade to shade for the entire house to lower the house temperature. It's made from canvas, which is relatively cheap, and it could be also used dually to collect water for the garden. The challenges, however, is that it creates more cost with that rainwater harvesting, and the canvas would need to be replaced every few years. In summary, the goals were that we wanted to reduce cooling costs by 15 to 20% of what they would have been without any improvements, and we wanted to keep our total cost under $60,000. All of our solutions were tree shading, white rooftops, awnings, window tintings, and shade structures. Thank you.